You ever sit there staring at your phone like it owes you child support, hoping it lights up with a text from someone who literally made your soul feel like a haunted house? Yeah, welcome to the club. I was the founding member of the Just Checking In Association and the president of the Maybe They'll Change Committee. And let me tell you right now, texting your ex is a drug. And not the fun kind, not the haha weed and wine kind. More like the oops, I overdrafted my self respect again kind. And before you even try to justify it, like we ended on good terms, or they might be going through something, or I just want to be friends. No, you don't. No, you don't. You want a hit of the thing that used to make your brain go all warm and fuzzy, even if that thing is literally what lit your life on fire and danced in the ashes with someone else. So I'm going to tell you what I did to stop texting my ex. Not in a self help guru way, not in a just love yourself and drink matcha way. No. I'm talking about the real, the messy, the unfiltered stuff, the 3 a.m. thoughts, the bathroom floor crying, the blocking, then unblocking, then blocking again stuff. Because healing isn't linear. But me texting my ex sure was a straight line to Delusionville population. Me. Number one, I made peace with the fact that I was addicted to the hope, not the person that's the part that hurt the most. It wasn't even about them anymore. It was about the version of me that believed we were supposed to work, the version that clung to a fantasy harder than reality ever clung to me. And once I realized that I was just chasing potential, like it was Bitcoin in 2017, I had to sit down and get honest. Hope was my drug, and they were just the dealer. And no matter how much I tried to clean up the story in my head, the facts stayed crusty. We weren't good together. We were good at patterns. I wanted change. They wanted comfort. I wanted growth. They wanted control. I wanted depth. They wanted distraction. And I kept texting because hope tastes better than silence, even when silence is the only thing that's actually safe. Number two, I deleted the thread, and not just the text thread. I mean the actual emotional thread. I stopped rereading old messages like they were scripture. I stopped screenshotting cute moments like I was building a museum for pain. I stopped treating our history like a mixtape of memories when it was more like a haunted playlist with jump scares. And every time I read back through those messages, I was basically asking my nervous system to relive the breakup again and again and again. So I deleted it all, even the cute ones, even the birthday messages, even the I miss you at 2:13 a.m. That made me think maybe they still loved me. Spoiler alert, they didn't. They were just lonely, and I was the emotional Uber they called when they needed a ride back to themselves. Number three, I made a grief altar. Yeah, sounds dramatic, I know, but hear me out. I needed somewhere to put the feeling, somewhere that wasn't my chest. So I lit a candle, wrote a letter burned. The letter cried into a hoodie that still smelled like them, and then I left it there like I was burying the ghost of the relationship because, let me tell you, grief doesn't wait for you to be ready. It just shows up in waves during your favorite song, in the middle of a joke, in the silence between texts. So I gave it a place, and somehow that made the rest of my life feel a little more free, like I wasn't carrying them into every room I entered. Number four, I told my friends to drag me every time I brought them up. And I mean drag. Like if I said their name, I owed someone $5 or a shot or a push up. Depending on the day, I made it a team sport. I gave them full permission to call me out, even when I didn't want to hear it. Because sometimes you need people who love you enough to tell you you're being dumb with compassion, but still dumb. And it worked. I got sick of hearing myself talk about them. I got embarrassed of how often their name lived, rent free in my mouth. And slowly, the mentions turned into memories, and the memories stopped controlling me. Number five, I stopped trying to make it make sense. Not everything is going to have closure. Not every relationship gets a neat little bow. Some people just leave a mess and dip, and you're left with the pieces and the questions and the how could they? But the truth is, most people don't even understand why they did what they did. They're just reacting, they're just projecting, they're just surviving, and hurting and hoping you won't see through it. And I wasted so much time trying to find the hidden meaning, when really the meaning was clear. They didn't choose me. And that's it. No plot twist, no secret reason, no big reveal. Just someone who didn't love me the way I needed to be loved. And I had to choose me in the absence of their choosing. Number 6, I gave myself the closure I thought I needed from them. I wrote the goodbye I never got. I forgave myself for staying too long, for ignoring red flags, for hoping against hope. And most of all, I stopped waiting for them to suddenly grow up and say, sorry, the apology was never coming. The explanation wasn't either. And my healing couldn't be held hostage by someone else's emotional maturity. So, I stopped begging ghosts for validation and started giving it to myself. And that took time. That took tears. That took reminding myself every damn day that I was worthy of peace, even if they never made it. Right. Number 7, I replaced the habit with something real. I got busy, but not with distractions, with devotion. I started creating things. Again, I started moving my body, not for aesthetics, but to feel alive. I started calling people who made me laugh without hurting. First, I started living a life that didn't revolve around checking my phone for one specific name. And slowly, my brain caught up and rewired itself. Because here's the thing, your brain doesn't care if something's good for you, it just knows what's familiar. So, every time I didn't text them, every time I sat in the discomfort instead of reaching out, every time I chose my dignity over dopamine, I was teaching my nervous system what safety actually feels like. And now, when I see their name pop up on old emails or random memories, I don't flinch, I don't spiral. I just smile a little sad smile and keep it pushing. And listen, I know you're probably still holding on to something, the what ifs, the almosts, the unfinished business. But let me say this, if they were capable of being what you needed, you wouldn't be here watching this video. You wouldn't be hurting like this. They weren't it. And that doesn't mean you're unlovable or too much or not enough. It just means they couldn't meet you where you were going. And sometimes love isn't about who you want to build with. It's about who's ready to build with you. And if they're not ready, they're not your person, period. You don't owe them a response. You don't owe them another chance. You don't owe them your healing story to make them feel better about what they broke. Your peace is not a group project, and your worth is not a reflection of who couldn't see it. So if you needed a sign to stop texting your ex, this is it. If you needed someone to remind you that you are allowed to let go, even if it still hurts here, it is. If you needed someone to say, it's okay to not understand why it ended, it's okay to miss them. It's okay to still love them. But you don't have to keep suffering to prove it. Here I am saying it out loud for both of us. You're allowed to be the one who walks away. You're allowed to stop dancing for people who keep changing the song. You're allowed to choose yourself even when it's lonely, even when it's quiet, even when it feels like a mistake. Because healing always feels wrong at first. But it's not, it's just new. And I know you've been through it. I know your heart's tired. I know you want to believe they'll come back different. But don't shrink your soul just to make their hands look bigger. Don't wait for someone to wake up to your value when you were glowing the whole time. You deserve someone who doesn't make you question the mirror, someone who doesn't love you like it's a hobby, someone who shows up fully, not just when it's convenient or 2 a.m. and they're bored. You deserve someone who doesn't require a war inside you to feel worth it. So yeah, those are the 7 things I did to stop texting my ex. But really what I did was come home to myself. And if you're still texting yours, ask yourself this. Are you hoping for healing or are you hoping for a high? Are you reaching out because you miss them or because you miss who you were with them either way? I promise that version of you is still in there waiting for you to come back. And when you do, they'll be so damn proud of you. Yeah, maybe they'll never say, sorry, maybe they'll never get it. Maybe they'll never come back, and maybe that's not the tragedy. Maybe the real story here is you finally learned to stop bleeding for someone who only ever brought paper cuts. And for the first time, you said, nah, I'm good. And if you know what that feels like, you already know what I'm about to say next. You're not alone. Never were.